Hello, Facebook Live. Welcome to Trefoil TV. My name is MeKenzie Lund, and I am the lead community engagement specialist with Girl Scouts of Western New York. And I'm coming to you live today for our Trefoil TV. And we are making window art through chromatography. So this is our STEM week at Girl Scouts of Western New York's Trefoil TV. And STEM, as we know, stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So we're going to do a fun science experiment, which also turns into art. So the supplies that you need are a coffee filter, any size, doesn't matter, as long as it's white because we're going to be coloring it. We need some washable markers and some water. So I'll actually show you two different ways we can do this, and then we'll put it all together. So first you're going to take your coffee filter and smush it, flatten it out like a pancake. Okay? So we have one big round paper. So you might be wondering, what even is chromatography? I can hardly say it, it's a tough word. And it's basically the separation of mixtures. So it's separating a mixture by passing it in a solution through which different components move at different rates. So I'll explain that in more visual terms a little further down our experiment. But essentially, we're going to be separating out the colors through water on our coffee filters that we've flattened out. So we're going to start coloring, and these typically work best if we color in circular motions outside, like from the inside out. But on this one that I've made, which you'll see in a little bit, you can just kind of color sporadically. So I'm going to start coloring, and you can use any colors you want. Typically dark colors produce fun results. I like to use light colors so they don't turn brown eventually. But really all I'm doing right now is coloring my coffee filter with different fun colors. So I've got some pink, some raspberry, and we don't need to cover the entire coffee filter. It's really random because what we're going to do with it eventually anyway is kind of mix the colors with the water. So everything will run together anyhow. I'll use one more color. Let's do green. And so we start out with the coffee filter. We're coloring it with washable marker, and then I like to make fun designs with it. Because we're making window art, it's a little less fun to just hang a plain shaped coffee filter in our window, which can be done, of course, but I like to add a little extra step. I like to trace mine into different shapes. So I have cut out a flower here. I am channeling all of the positive spring weather that I can here. So I'm going to place my tracer, my flower, right on top of my coffee filter. And then I'm going to trace that stencil on my coffee filter, and then I'm going to cut it out using a pair of scissors. And if you need help using scissors, make sure you have an adult with you, kids. Okay, so I have my coffee filter flower. It's all cut out, it's been traced, it's got color on it. I'll show it a little closer. So that's what it looks like. Okay, now there are two different methods that we can use to make it a chromatography experiment. So the first is with a cup of water, which I will fill with water now. Okay, we don't want to fill it too full because we want just the tip of our flower in there. So I'm going to fold my flower in half. See how I did that? Right in half, flip the bottom up, okay? Then I'm going to flip it again, fold it again, okay? And for good measure, I'm going to fold it one more time, so that's 3 times, okay? And then I have a small binder clip, and I have a reusable straw, but you can use a skewer, you can use a spoon, anything that you can clip your coffee filter onto your straw with. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so it looks just like that. And then it only takes a few seconds, so be quick, or you want to watch this because it's pretty quick. You're going to dip it in the water, and the experiment is to see the colors from the very bottom of the filter flow up, okay? So I hope you can see that. It's close enough. You're seeing that just the tip of that coffee filter is in the water. But because coffee filters are made the way that they are, it soaks up all the water. So all that water is going up to the top of the filter. So once it looks like it's about done growing, or it's about to the top, which it looks like mine is here, you can leave it in for as long as you'd like, as long as it doesn't get the top, because when we take it off, we don't want it to fall apart on us. Okay, so I'm going to tap that off. And then I have a piece of paper towel, actually this one, doubled up. So I'm going to take it off the straw and the clip, and very carefully, this is the important part, very carefully you want to unfold it. Why are we being careful? So it doesn't rip, right? So, very carefully unfolding. And the end result is pretty awesome. It looks kind of like tie-dye. You might get your fingers a little bit messy, but again, it's washable marker. Just use some soap and water. So that's what the end result looks like. Okay, and you can put it down on a piece of paper towel to dry. So you can see a little bit better on my paper towel that all those colors kind of ran together, but they really kind of shot to the outsides. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this to dry, and I'll show you method number 2. Method number 2 is a tiny bit messier, but I think it's really fun too. So you might want to cover your workspace or be on a workspace that you're okay with cleaning up with washable marker. So I use a cup, put it right on a piece of folded up paper towel, or I'll put it in the sink or the bathtub, somewhere where it can get a little bit messy. Okay. And for the sake of time, we'll say that I cut this one out too. So I'm just going to lay that right on top of my cup, okay? Right on top, super simple, nothing more to it. Then I'm going to take a spray bottle filled with water, and I'm going to spray from the top, okay? Just a little bit from the top. And this one takes a little bit longer, but eventually that will also kind of soak down to the ends, and all those colors will kind of disperse out. So I pre-made one, and this is what my end result looked like from when I made one this way with this spray bottle. And you can keep this here until it dries and then flatten it back out. But then we have a dry, beautifully colored coffee filter. Mine's in the shape of a flower again. So how do we make it into window art? Very easy, with a hole punch and some string. So I'm going to hole punch just one petal as far in as I can, because again, we don't want it to rip. So you can, I think you can see that. There we go. So hole punch. And since it's a filter, it might take a couple pulses of your hole punch. Be careful not to rip it. They are pretty fragile. Okay, so it's created a space for me to insert my string. And you can make these as long or short as you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to string, I chose green for Girl Scouts, Girl Scout green. You're going to string that right through the hole that you just punched through with your hole punch. Okay. And we have that. And now, super simple, we're just going to tie it off. And these are really fun. I've done these at home with my parents and with my godson, and we love putting them in the windows because they look like stained glass. So You can hang them from the window panes. I have window boxes, so I can hang them right from the top and the light shines through. It's very beautiful, it's very simple, and it's a way to kind of beautify your house from the outside in or from the inside out. So I hope you've learned a lot from our chromatography experiment today. If you have any questions about Girl Scouts or anything related to our movement, feel free to contact our customer care team at 1-800-837-6410 or 1-888-837-6410 and at customercare@gswny.org. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you do end up making some chromatography, please share your end results in the comments on this video. We'd love to see them. We love the colors. We love to see everything our families, girls, kids are up to. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.